The British woman suffrage campaigner Emily Davison went to the Epsom Derby, where the King's horse, King George V, his horse was racing. Remember that British women's rights campaigners were radical. They were accustomed to acts of violence, even to giving their lives. And Emily Davison steps right out in front of the King's horse, and Emily Davison is thrown to the ground and she's killed of a skull fracture. Alice Paul, the American woman suffrage activist, was in London at the time that this happened, and she was watching and learning from the British woman suffrage campaigners, including Emmeline Pankhurst. Up to this point, American activists, women activists, had been much more careful about how they carried themselves. They'd been much less likely to adopt violent and confrontational tactics. But when Alice Paul saw this, she brought back a more confrontational, a more aggressive understanding of how to secure the right to vote. But she thinks, where can I find a place that is incredibly symbolic? A place where I will be certain to catch the attention and catch the imagination of the American people. And really, there's only one place in the United States at that time, and that is the White House. The White House is the national symbol. The White House is the epicenter of American life. And so she decides that she's going to stage her protest and her campaign right at the heart of American political life and American public life. She could win it all, or she could lose it all, right there at the White House. She knew that it would provoke a reaction because of where it happened and what she said, and it did. The police of Washington, D.C., with Woodrow Wilson's support, decided to begin arresting Alice Paul and her fellow suffrage campaigners. Alice Paul really forced a decision, and I think it really is ultimately her choice to stage those protests at the White House that leads Woodrow Wilson to make that decision, to throw his support behind women's suffrage, to throw his support behind an amendment to the Constitution that would grant women the right to vote on a national level. And she certainly considered it as a success. When the amendment became law in 1920, Alice Paul unfurls the banner of women's suffrage from the National Women's Party headquarters right there on Lafayette Square, right next to the White House.